Madhouse just did a big ass bitch slap to terraformers. They just did, no. They just bitch slapped every single censored anime from this year, and probably even past years. Madhouse just did that. They literally just took a shit on all censored anime. That's what Madhouse just did in this episode. If you don't know what I am talking about, I'm about to let you know. There was a scene in this episode, no joke, I am not lying, go look yourself if you want to see. I watch this on Crunchyroll, so it could vary, it could be censored or something, I don't know. But, on Crunchyroll, there was a scene right towards the beginning of this episode, episode 2 of Parasyte, that actually had this dick hand. I'm not joking with you, I'm not joking. I heard a lot of manga readers last week telling me that they were going to censor that in the comments. I saw a lot of people like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what the hell is this? I saw a lot of Chibis just saying that. And then this episode starts and I'm like, oh, of all things you would think would be censored. Okay, look, I understand something like that being censored, but that wasn't even fucking censored. That literally is just like, what? If they're not censoring something like that, you can expect nothing to be censored. That's what I want to say right now. If that is not censored, nothing is going to be censored. That's it right there. I mean, that's as far as censors could possibly go to censor something like that. If they're not even censoring that, they're not going to censor nothing. Okay? I'm just saying that right now. Right now, this is probably the biggest, thumbs up and the biggest, clap on the back any fan of Parasyte probably has ever wanted. For instance, any major fan that's probably been with the series for a very long time, I'm new to the anime and series in general, but any major fan that was worried about an anime adaptation of Parasyte will now have their worries gone, because if they're willing to show something like that, then yeah. Okay. This episode, man. Honestly, when I started it, it did not feel like 20 minutes I was watching this. It personally felt like 5 minutes. It felt like Hunter x Hunter. That's exactly what this felt like. It felt like I was watching an episode of Hunter x Hunter because I enjoyed it so much. I was sucked into this episode that it did not feel long at all. It did. Seriously, it sucks how short it felt to me. I really felt like I only sat down for 3 or 4 minutes to watch this episode. And that is how much entertainment it gave me. Oh my god, the entertainment is... Madhouse. This is how you adapt a series. Beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, so this episode of Parasyte. The overall concept I'm seeing here is the coexistence between our main male character, Izumi, and Migi. Now, Migi, I want to tell you right now that is really freaking a cute little name. I want to be honest. It's a cute little name, but what the fuck? Oh, he looks kind of creepy in this episode. Did you see when he transformed into the freaking, razor claw fingers, whatever? He's like, oh, I sense some fear coming off of you, Izumi. I'm like, oh, just... Overall, the concept of this episode is seeing how our main male character goes from his ordinary life to this life, and he's having to live and deal with this parasite on his hand. And to see how he's trying to live a normal human life is crazy. But the other thing, though, that pops up, the conflict that pops up in this episode, is that other parasites, other people in Migi's kind, are having to eat the same type of race. For instance, there's a lot of cannibalism that's going on with Migi's race. For instance, if a parasite got into a dog, it would have to eat other dogs. It can't eat like humans from what I can see, and vice versa. For instance, if you get inside of a human, you have to eat humans. So this question is brought up in my mind after hearing this in this episode. If they take over the human brain and they have to eat other humans, what does Migi have to eat? I mean, yes, we know he's getting nutrients and stuff from Izumi, what he eats and stuff. I understand that. I do. But, I mean, is that it? Does he really need to eat it all besides just getting nutrients from Izumi? That's just the biggest question. And the other thing I noticed with this episode, I noticed slight parts of it last week, I just didn't go too far into it. But with this episode, it's clearly visible that this parasite Migi on Izumi's hand is, messing with his personality. I can really see it messing with his personality, because in this episode, a couple of times, you see, like, where this one kid is trying to bully our main male character, Izumi, trying to punch him and beat the shit out of him. You see how his face changes, like, he gets all serious, our main male character gets serious, and then you have Migi go around and beat the shit out of that dude in one punch, and he knocks out and runs away. Well, you saw it looked like Izumi's personality changed, like, it completely went different, like, darker. And then, in this episode, when you saw the humans, you know, the regular boys and kids, teenagers, throwing fucking rocks at cats, I'm like, that is disgusting. That is really fucking disgusting. I'm gonna just say right now, that is awful. Who the fuck uses a cat as target practice and throws damn rocks at that? Ugh. Oh my god. And I know for a fact, ugh, I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, pretty much, you had it to, in that moment when he says stop, he looks at these kids that were about to throw rocks at him after he saved the cat. You have Migi grab all the fucking rocks, dude. Grab all the freaking little rocks that was about to be thrown at him, like, when his back was turned. That's badass. I want to say it right now, that's really fucking badass. And the way it looked, the frames and animation on scene, holy hot damn, that was freaking amazing. You see his arm just go around grabbing all those freaking rocks, and it comes back over and you see him holding them. That was just great. And what makes it even better was the dubstep on it. I didn't talk much about it last week, but I want to talk about it again. The dubstep, man. The dubstep is just... Damn, I'm not one that really likes dubstep a whole lot. I love dubstep, but not so much, but... With the way they're using the music and the dubstep, oh my god, the hype in that entire scene, that was just badass when you saw that. And then the other section of how, like, when he looked at the kids after he grabbed the rocks, getting back to the personality discussion, pretty much he says, I will eat you. So, I personally believe that Migi is messing with our main male character's brain or something, or his entire bit of how Migi is attached to him, and might be affecting him somehow to where his personality is changing. I don't know, because this has been a little bit of scientific, a little bit, because, I mean, you have Migi saying that he only values his own life. For instance, he says that he wants a coexistence with Izumi. He even states that last episode, and kind of this episode, but he has no problem with blinding Izumi or ripping out his tongue to keep him silent, because he doesn't need those to stay alive. That's exactly what Migi states in this episode. That's pretty fucking terrifying if you think about it, because it is true. And the way you have Migi state like he only values his own life is pretty interesting, and I feel like there's going to be some form of character development towards that. I feel like Migi is going to get some development to where he might actually start to value Izumi's life over, you know, anyone else's. He might value Izumi's life with his life, and they might be equal. Because we see an extent of this in this episode. For instance, Migi saves Izumi because of this human parasite dude comes in and it's like, hey, I'll cut off my arm, join with me, Migi, join with me, we can be together and work this host and make it live for 140 years. I'm like, holy shit, so parasites can merge supposedly, but Migi said he didn't know if it was true or not, so that's why he killed the person. But it doesn't matter, the way Migi looked in that entire act, the way he acted, and the way you saw, like, I don't know, I felt like emotions off that scene. Even though it's a fucking hand, I felt the emotions off that, and I'm like, it looked like Migi was contemplating, like, he felt sad if he was to kill, you know, Izumi. That's what I felt in that scene. Oh yes, one thing I want to say, there's some freaking dark, morbid comedy in this episode. Like, the entire bit with how Migi, it says, ooh, I want to give this organ an erection. I'm like, yeah. That was just like, what? What? It's just like, that is pretty... Yeah. This overall, this episode, man, is good. 9.5 out of 10, or even 10 out of 10. You know what? 10 out of 10. You know why? Madhouse did something I expected to be censored, but they didn't censor it, so it proves to me that the series is not going to be censored, so we know for a fact the adaptation of any gory scene in the future is going to be done properly, because I have heard this series does get quite violent, so 10 out of 10 for this episode, because it just proves to me Madhouse cares for its audience. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.